This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there, it's Jeff Cutter, and welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, February the 18th, is a Russian hockey player that made infamy by defecting in the course of the Goodwill Games or the World Juniors? I can't remember which one. I think it's the Goodwill Games. But anyway, this guy is the president of Amur Khabarovsk of the KHL. He was the first NHL draftee to defect from Russia to play in North America, to the defect. And during his NHL career, he played for Buffalo, Vancouver, Toronto, and New Jersey, being the goal-scoring champion in 1993 with 76, if you could believe that, and actually being part of the Triple Gold Club by his Stanley Cup with the Devils. I'll explain more later. But anyway, this guy's now 53 years old. His name, Alex Mogilny. Alex Mogilny was a full-time player for CSKA Moscow. He had teammates like Sergei Fedorov, Pavel Bure, Mogilny, Fedorov, and Bure. Moscow was hoping to replace their aging stars of Vladimir Krutov, Igor Larionov, and Sergei Makarov, who all would go to the NHL with the Russians' blessing, I believe. Anyway, Mogilny played in the 87 World Juniors. That was, of course, the year that the punch-up in Pirstani happened. So anyway, Mogilny competed in the 1988 World Juniors and got them second place on their own turf that Canada beat them in, ironically enough. He would play for the 1988 Soviet Winter Olympics team that won gold in Canada. So he was the captain of the 89 World Juniors in Alaska and was part of the Bure Fedorov Mogilny line, which led the team to the gold medal easily. He helped the Soviets win the 89 World Hockey Championships. But Mogilny yearned for the NHL despite his growing importance on the Soviet team and CSKA Moscow. Buffalo drafted him 89th overall in the 88 draft, by the way. So at the conclusion of the 89 World Championships, okay, I thought it was he decided to board a plane in Stockholm secretly and flew to Buffalo. He was given the number 89, but he kept it and all that. The funny thing was that Mogilny, in his first NHL game against the Quebec Nordiques in 1989, he scored 20 seconds into his first shift. Not Mario Lemieux-like, but anyway. Mogilny was okay and all that. It took him time to adjust to a new country and culture. He would score 43 points in his first season, but then jump up to 64 in sophomore. He was a superstar for Buffalo and all that. Mogilny scored 5 seconds into a game December 91 against the Leafs to tie the NHL record fastest goal to start the game. Buffalo made a big trade with the Islanders, getting Pat LaFontaine. And LaFontaine's chemistry with Mogilny was huge for the Sabres, especially in 93 when Mogilny scored 76 goals in 77 games. That tied him with the Finnish Flash, team was aligning for most goals in that season. It is actually the 5th highest goal total in NHL history. And I believe it's the 76. How many did Espo have? 76? Well, I think that ties Espo for the most goals in a season by a player not named Lemieux or Gretzky. Oh no, wait, Brett Hull had 86. What am I thinking? Fuck me. Anyhow, so Mogilny's 76 goals are the most in a season by a Russian player. His 127 points was the Russian standard for points in a season. However, it was broken by Nikita Kucherov, not Ovechkin like I thought, but Kucherov for his 128th point in 2019. He scored his 50th goal in his 46th game. Sadly, though, that does not count as 50 and 50 because that's the team's 50 goal games. Mogilny was huge and all that. He helped the Sabres sweep the Boston Bruins in one of the most shocking first-round upsets ever in 1993, as the Sabres beat the Bruins, scored 6 goals. In the second round, they were matched with Montreal. Mogilny sadly would collide with somebody in Game 3 and could not come back. The Sabres were swept. Mogilny kept breaking his leg. That was the second straight time. He became the first Russian captain in NHL history when he helped the Sabres out for a few games. Unfortunately, due to the contractual demands of LaFontaine and Hasek, the Sabres needed to trade Mogilny, and they did in '95. Traded him to Vancouver for Mike Petka and a first-round pick of Jay McKee. So that actually worked out for Buffalo. I mean, Mike Petka is a Sabres legend, and Jay McKee was a pretty good player too. Mogilny was acquired because he could help the Canucks win the Stanley Cup. The motive for Pat Quinn, who was the president of the Canucks at that time, was to pair Mogilny and Bure together and form a dominant scoring line because they played at CSKA Moscow. Unfortunately, Bure would basically have a torn ACL and have some issues. So Mogilny was paired up with Cliff Ronning and Marty Jelena. He did pretty well, 55 goals, being third in the NHL in that mark, and scored 9 points in 6 games in the playoffs for the Canucks. Sadly, though, they lost to the Avalanche in the first round. Mogilny looked good, but then, unfortunately, he had injuries and inconsistency. And all that. He couldn't mesh with even Bure. The Canucks traded Bure to Florida in '99. Then they traded Mogilny to the Devils in the 2000 trade deadline for Brendan Morrison and Dennis Peterson. That worked out for the Canucks because Brendan Morrison was a good player. Mogilny could not produce at the level that was expected. Sadly, though, that's true. However, the Devils did win the Stanley Cup, beating Dallas. Remember, this was the year 2000 that Jason Arnott's overtime goal in Game 6. And then Mogilny got triple gold. Which meant that he won a World Juniors, a Stanley Cup, and a World Championship. No, Olympic gold medal, a senior world champion, like the World Championship, and the Stanley Cup. So he looked good for the Devils in 2001, trying to give them back-to-back Stanley Cups. But no, Avalanche beat them Game 7, Great Park. In 2001, Mogilny was a free agent. So he signed a 4-year, $22 million deal with the Leafs. This was huge and all that. Quinn was actually the GM of the Leafs at the time who signed Mogilny to that contract. And remember, he was the one who traded for Mogilny for the Canucks. Mogilny scored 2 goals in his Leafs debut, which was great. He put up his 400th goal a few games later against the Ducks. He was primarily on a line with Gary Roberts and Robert Reichel. And Mogilny helped the Leafs out. He scored the most goals in the 2002 playoff run for the Leafs. Unfortunately, though, the Hurricanes got them in the conference finals. Then Pat Quinn decided to start the season by pairing his 2 best forwards, Mogilny and Sundin, on the first line. And it was dangerous. Nick Antropov came in. So it's Mogilny, Sundin, and Antropov. Mogilny led the team with 79 points, 9 game-winning goals, and added 2 hat tricks. This was the only time that Matt Sundin, as a Leaf, did not lead the team in points. Mogilny scored a hat trick in Game 1 against the Flyers in the first round. The funny thing about that was, guess what that was? Game 1 happened April 9th, 2003, on my 18th birthday. Sadly, though, the Flyers would knock the Leafs out in 6 games. Yeah, that's right. He was awarded the Lady Byng Trophy for sportsmanship and gentlemanly conduct at season's end. Becoming the first Leaf to win the Lady Byng since Dave Keon, and the first Leaf to get an individual award since Doug Gilmour's Selke in 1993. So that was amazing. Mogilny would have major hip surgery and scored his 1,000th point in dramatic fashion against the Buffalo Sabres. In Buffalo, where the Leafs fans are rowdy and all that. Mogilny took a big shot, but Gary Roberts tipped in the shot, and Mogilny got his 1,000th point and all that. Mogilny then gave the big assist to Thomas Caberlet for the overtime winner. The Leafs fell in the second round to the Flyers. Mogilny would have played his 4th year with the Leafs, but that 2005 was the year of the lockout. So he was a free agent, and the Leafs could not afford Mogilny. So he went back to New Jersey, agreeing to a 2-year, $7 million contract. Unfortunately, his chronic hip problem would ruin him. He went to the AHL team in Albany for salary cap reasons. He played 19 games for Albany, but he couldn't play in the AHL. So he retired. Mogilny became the first Russian to be an NHL captain. I can't believe it was Mogilny. First Russian to the NHL All-Star team, and has the highest goal total and second highest point total by a Russian player. Surprised that Ovechkin hasn't broken any of those records. Mogilny is the second Russian to hit 1,000 points in the NHL. He just missed out being first by a few days. Sergei Fedorov beat him to it. And in '93, when he tied Team Mussolini for most goals in the 93 season in the NHL, he was the first non-North American to win the goal scoring title. Anyway, Mogilny did pretty well for himself. So Mogilny did a lot. 6-time All-Star, 2 times on the second All-Star team, Stanley Cup champion in 2000, goal-scoring leader in '93. It would have been the Rocket Richard Trophy, of course, but that wasn't existing before 2000. Lady Bean Trophy in 2003. He unofficially holds the record for most game-winning goals in a season with 11. Wow, did not know that. Buffalo Sabres Hall of Fame. I don't know if he's going to the NHL Hall of Fame. But anyway, he scored 1,032 points in 990 regular season games and 86 playoff points in 124. So yeah, Mogilny did well being a defector and helping Russian players like Ovechkin realize their dreams. I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.